Hello, hello, my friends. I have a really exciting video to share with you guys today. This is my August Caramel Sundays Ambassador pre-order. And y'all, this one's good. If you're in the Facebook group for Caramel Sundays, or if you follow me over on Instagram, I have teased that there are some really, really good fragrances here. So we got to cover a couple of things before we get into the old sniff session here. First and foremost, the Caramel Sundays August restock will be happening on Sunday, August 23rd, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you're signed up for those text alerts so that way you can get the 2 minutes of early access. You're going to want it because there are a lot of amazing offerings in this restock. And if you've been paying attention, y'all know this is the last call for fall. Caramel Sundays did explain earlier this week that basically due to how the calendar is falling, their next restock is likely going to be the end of September, like the last weekend in September or the first weekend in October. And by then, they will be getting ready to start launching Christmas fragrances. And I know that that sounds crazy, but you guys know in the candle world, most brands usually do start launching Christmas scents by late September. So they're right on trend with everybody else. And yeah, so we've got last call for fall. Other thing that I wanted to cover, you guys, is that there is a slight price increase on the 2-wick candles. They have never done a price increase until this point. Just happens to be how it is right now. The cost of everything has gone up. Now, this will only apply to their 2-wicks. So their 2-wick candles used to be $31.99. Now they are going to be, I believe, $34. So shipping is still included in that. There's no extra shipping costs with Caramel Sundays. You can place an order for one item and you're not going to be charged extra shipping. You can order 10 items and you're not going to be charged extra for shipping. So that's one of the great things about them. Make sure you're signed up for their rewards program. And yeah, you guys, we've got a lot of wonderful offerings here. In addition to 2 wicks, 4 wicks, 5 wicks, they're also going to be having the return of their laundry soap. It's been kind of reformulated and repackaged. So I'm really excited to get my hands on that. Caramel Sundays, you guys know, I mean, those of you who are watching this video, you're probably already familiar with them. They are a small business based out of Monroe, Georgia, pride themselves in being non-tox ingredients. They're REACH compliant, phthalate, paraben, VOC free, all of the stuff that we don't want in our home fragrance. They do not have, but they produce some pretty good stuff. Like I said at the beginning of this video, this is an ambassador pre-order, which means that I am one of the 7 ambassadors that Caramel Sundays has. And basically, I don't have any affiliate codes. I don't make any commission. That gives me the perk of being able to access the candles a little bit early at a discount. So I feel like I've covered everything there. You guys know their Instagram account is linked down below. Feel free to go check out what all of the offerings are going to be. I'm going to let you guys know my thoughts on these candles, if there's any comparisons, because I'm starting to become pretty familiar with the brand. And so I feel like I'm getting to a point where I can say, hey, if you've tried this from the brand, you might like this. Or if you didn't like this, then you're probably going to want to avoid this. I feel like I'm getting to that point with Caramel Sundays. And what was the other thing that I was going to say? My brain is all over the place. I feel like I'm going like a million miles a minute here. If it comes to me, it'll come to me here. So let's go ahead and dive right on into this little bit of a sniff session. I did only end up purchasing a couple of 2 wicks. I purchased 6 2 wicks in this pre-order, and it is because I actually am planning to purchase. This is probably going to be my biggest order of 4 wicks and possibly even 5 wicks this go around. I'll let you guys know what else is still on my wish list to pick up next weekend at the end of this video. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and kick this off. So the first candle I'm going to talk about is Cranberry Orange Marmalade. Now, this is a fragrance that was actually available last year. The first time I saw it, it was in one of their huge 150-ounce vessels. Cranberry Orange Marmalade has fragrance notes of cranberry, orange zest, crisp apple, fir, clove, sage, cinnamon, and cane sugar. Now, I know a lot of people saw a sage note in there and you're a little bit scared off by that. I'm going to tell you guys, I don't smell sage in here. This does not smell herbaceous at all. In fact, to my nose, you guys, this is a cousin to Autumn Jam. If you happen to like Autumn Jam, which I brought one over here so that way I could give like a side-by-side comparison. This is my 2-wick of Autumn Jam, which I did do a review on earlier this week. Here's the thing. I think where I'm drawing the similarity is the first notes. So let's see. Autumn Jam has notes listed of apple, citrus, cranberry in their first 3 notes. First 3 notes of cranberry orange marmalade are cranberry, orange zest, and crisp apple. So there's definitely some similarities there, but they are 2 different fragrances. They are not the same. Autumn Jam, I get more of that like dried wood and clove. Whereas this cranberry orange marmalade is definitely more in line with like a marmalade, like a jam. It's very sweet and gelatinous. Now there's other notes in here, like I said, fir, clove, cane sugar. I don't detect a lot of tree in here, but that might come out when it's burning. I actually have the fragrance in my collection from earlier this year. They had a fragrance called Wishing for Winter that they launched. I want to say it was like in December or January. And that has like a pomegranate note going on in it. I'm going to burn Wishing for Winter with this cranberry orange marmalade, although I do suspect that this might go really nicely with Autumn Jam. It might go really nicely with Fall Gathering. I feel like this is another fragrance that will go really nicely with tree scents, but this is definitely a very like sweet, fruity fragrance. But again, if you like Autumn Jam, I think that you would like Cranberry Orange Marmalade. They're cousins, I would say. But again, this is more just like the jam or the marmalade, the sweetness that you would expect from that. There's no dried clove or woody notes in this to my nose. It's really, really good. I like this. I like this a lot. It's definitely kind of reminds me of like a kind of what you would have like in like a simmer pot or something like that, you know, around the holidays. I'm going to set my Autumn Jam right there. Okay, another fragrance that I purchased. This is actually the first time that I've had this. I passed on this last year. And then a lot of people said this one's really, really good. And I remembered like sniffing the very tail end of this fragrance over at Amy's, but it was kind of out of season. So this is the fragrance Trick or Treat. We've got a really cute label here with like a little dog in a ghost costume. Trick or Treat has fragrance notes of caramel apple, lemon zest, sugar, orange zest, velvet musk, nutmeg, sugar crystals, and clove. So you're kind of like, what are we supposed to smell here? Okay, this, a lot of people have said this is almost like sticking your nose into a bag of Skittles and like what that bag would smell like at the bottom. And I totally see what people are saying about that. This is definitely like your fruity candy type of scent. And yet it's, Cody smelled all of these this morning and he was like, that one almost smells kind of like clean. And I was like, yes, it does. You know what? I'm going to give full credit to Amy over at Beloved Fragrance Finds. Over the summer, there was a fragrance called Cabana Colada, which I ended up jumping on that bandwagon a little too late. Really wish I would have gotten that in a 4-wick. She at that time said that Cabana Colada was like the summer sister to Trick or Treat. It just kind of gave those same types of vibes. And now that I have my nose on Trick or Treat, I'm like, absolutely. That is exactly what, she nailed that comparison. That is exactly what my nose thinks of here. It's giving me the same type of kind of like, it's like a complex, beautiful, fruity note, but it's not so sickeningly artificially sweet. You know, because candy is very artificial by nature, but yet there's something very pretty about this. It's not perfumey. It's not anything like that. It's just pretty. I'm suspecting that it's there's a velvet musk note in here. Whatever that accord is, I feel like that is what's kind of like elevating this to the next level. Yeah, this is very nice. I am going to let you guys know, I'm not going to burn this one prior to the launch because this is such a unique fragrance to me that I don't know what else I have in my collection right now that would really, like, I'm kind of rattling my brain, like what would complement this. But I am planning on getting this in a 4-wick. I feel like this is going to be a really nice change up when I'm kind of craving something a little bit different from all of the spicy, fruity gourmands or bakery types of gourmand fragrances. I think I'm going to want something a little bit different, especially because I've mentioned this several times. Where I live, it is still very, very hot all the way until November. So I feel like this one's still going to be really nice and refreshing. So Trick or Treat, that is my first time getting that one. Another one that is a returning fragrance that I have not tried before, this is Peach Pecan Crunch. Peach Pecan Crunch has fragrance notes of gooey peach, brown sugar, maple, candied pecans, warm Belgian bread. So you guys know I was a huge fan of salted peach butter upon burn earlier this year. Kicked myself for not getting more. So I was hoping, I was like, let's hope that this is in that same vein. And yeah, this is definitely, it's the same peach note that I got in that salted peach butter. I wish I had them side by side to compare. I am going to tell you that I think I like this more on cold. My initial cold sniff of salted peach butter, I was like, ooh, I don't know about that. Yeah, this is good. This is like a good, like, yeah, like not a full on like peach cobbler, like, but it is definitely very much like those cooked sweet peaches. It's not like a fresh ripe peach that like you just freshly picked. It's definitely got like it's peach, but you've got the brown sugar and you've got some, I don't really detect a lot of pecan right now on cold. On cold, the main note is peach. That's really what I'm smelling. And spoiler alert, this morning when I had Cody, when these were delivered and I had Cody sniff them, he was like, oh, I kind of like that. And I was shocked because I was like, we all know he's an avid peach hater. And I was like, really? And then he was like, well, there's something a little peachy about it. And I don't know. And I was like, oh, here we go. You know, it's like, I think you got to look at the name. But he's like, I actually do like that. He's like, it's not a love for him, but he's like, I like that better. And I was like, yeah, it's definitely got that peach note that on cold that I think a lot of people would compare to like peach rings. But what I learned with salted peach butter was once I started burning that, it just really kind of came to life and definitely smelled more like an authentic, like like a bakery type of peach than it is like a candied peach. So this is one that I'm really curious to see what this does on burn. I am planning to burn this. I have a little bit of Blueberry Bakehouse left. I think I have like one more burn, but I actually purchased this hoping to burn it alongside the Dad's Blueberry Cobbler, which I did not purchase in a 2-wick because I know that I love Caramel Sunday's take on blueberry. I'm just going to go straight for a 4-wick on that one. So that is on my wish list for the 4-wick. But I feel like this peach pecan crunch with the Dad's Blueberry Cobbler, if you're somebody who likes combos like that, that would be a fantastic combination. All right, you guys, here's the one, you guys, that I'm going to tell you guys, I'm really surprised by this because I ordered this kind of like, I don't know, maybe I'll like this, but I'm not really sure. Goblin Grounds. So Goblin Grounds has fragrance notes of sweet cream cold foam, dark espresso, pumpkin spice, vanilla marshmallow, sandalwood, and clove bud. So we already know that Caramel Sundays has their Hawkins Autumn, which is going to be available in a 5-wick. It's the last call for Hawkins Autumn, you guys, for this fall. Hawkins Autumn has been there for the last 2 restocks. This is going to be the last time, only in the 5-wick. So if you haven't gotten your fill of Hawkins Autumn, that's how you're going to want to do it. But I was thinking like, okay, is this going to be along the same, you know, how strong is the coffee note? Because you see espresso here. I'm going to tell you guys, this is not a coffee forward fragrance. It definitely gives more, like I'm smelling more of like the cold foam in there. It's a sweet, sweet kind of creamy type of accord going on here. This is one I actually think I'm going to light up first because I can burn it with Hawkins Autumn. I'm very curious to see how this one burns. There's something I'm really loving about this. Kind of reminds me, it's not the same fragrance, but it kind of gives me a little bit of like the pumpkin spices that I'm picking up in here are kind of remind me, this is like a creamier version, say, of like Bath and Body Works pumpkin carving. Something about that is reminding me in this fragrance, and I'm here for it. I love this. I feel like this is probably the closest that you're going to get maybe to like a pumpkin spice latte from Caramel Sundays. Again, not a lot of coffee note in here, but but I like this one. This is really pretty. I think that this is probably going to be the first one that I'm going to burn. We're having kind of a cloudy day, and I think I'm going to light up Hawkins Autumn with this Goblin Grounds because that's a fantastic little fragrance right there. All right, another one that is a new fragrance, you guys, and I'm just telling you, this is the other one. Like I smelled this on Cold Sniff, and I was like, okay, immediately add a 4-wick to the list. Bones. Bones has fragrance notes of crisp apple, sweet cream, vanilla bean, Palo Santo, fir needles, evergreen, saffron, moss, patchouli, and soft wood. So you're thinking maybe like, that's a lot of fragrance notes there, right? Okay, when I initially smelled this, see, this is funny because I smelled these this morning and now, it's been about 6 hours since these were delivered. So they've had some time. Okay, I'm smelling apple. It's the same apple that's an apple in Oat Orchard to my nose. It's kind of got that same base going on of the crisp apple. It's the same apple note that they use in their crisp country apple, which I think is going to be in a 4-wick, this restock. Sweet cream. Like it's got those first kind of components of that, like the crisp apple, but there's a little bit of creaminess in it that you find in Oat Orchard. I would say that this is like the not sophisticated, like the mysterious sister to Oat Orchard. It's got some components of Oat Orchard in it, but then I'm picking up a little bit on that fir tree, a little bit of like mystery or woodiness from Palo Santo. It's done really, really well in here, you guys. Patchouli, it's not overly perfumey, dirty hippie patchouli. I'm not getting that in here at all. There's kind of like a woodiness that's accompanying this, but it's not that woody vanilla that they use in the Nutty Little Nightmare, which I think it got changed to Nutty Little Nightmare. I think it was initially Nutty Nightmare, and then we all just started calling it Nutty Little Nightmare, and so they made a label that says Nutty Little Nightmare. I know that that's returning in a 4-wick. I like these woody accords a little bit more. There's something like there's a moss note in here. There's just something that's kind of like mysterious to this, but this is not as smoky. I have a feeling some people are going to ask, how does this compare to Kringle Candle's Haunted Hallows, which is also like an apple and fir tree note? Very, very different fragrance. That to me is a little bit darker and kind of like smokier. And their apple note that they use is a little bit more of like in some ways, it's kind of like a fermented apple to my nose. I like it in that. Like I don't like the way Bath and Body Works does that, but I like the way that Kringle does it. Sometimes it depends on what it's mixed with. But in that fragrance, it's more of their fir tree note really stands out. Whereas this, to me, again, on cold, what I'm getting is that crisp apple. It's definitely a very different apple note with some of that sweet vanilla, like a vanilla cream. And then there's the like natural notes, like the woody notes and the tree notes are a little bit softer in the background. This is another one that I'm super, super curious about because I really like it. I am going to plan to burn this with Oat Orchard. I have another one that I'm just getting ready to light up. I know they've also said if you happen to like fragrances like Always Autumn, then you might like this. And I agree with them. I agree very much with that. It's kind of got that apple and nature type of thing going on. But this one's really good. I just have a feeling. I got a feeling about that one that I'm absolutely going to fall in love. All right, and the last candle that I picked up, and you guys, this was the one that I was on the fence about. Like, I was like, I don't know. Am I going to like that? I don't know if I want to get that because I couldn't remember what I thought of the fragrance that this is very similar to from Bath and Body Works. So the last candle that I picked up was Acorn Avenue. Acorn Avenue has fragrance notes of autumn leaves, baked cinnamon, crisp apples. Yes, it is supposed to be inspired by Bath & Body Works Acorn Lane. However, I don't like Acorn Lane at Bath & Body Works. I love this. This definitely, now this I'm going to tell you guys gives me almost Christmas vibes. It's the cinnamon in here, but the cinnamon, I like that they say it's baked cinnamon. This is not your red hot cinnamon. Definitely spicy, but the crisp apples are in the background. Autumn leaves. Yeah, it's like the autumn leaves note that they have in well, they have a fragrance called Autumn Leaves. Kind of reminds me of that. Oh, I wonder if this would pair nicely with that one. Oh, this is so good. There's something about this that kind of smells like chestnut to me. It's kind of like a chestnut type of fragrance. And I know that that's not listed at all in here, but something about this is very Christmas-like to me, which we all know their next launch is going to be, they're going to be launching Christmas. Oh man, this is so good. So good. I keep sniffing. I did message Sierra. I was like, okay, I need to know, is this coming back in the next launch? And she was like, more than likely not. So I said, okay, well, that lets me know that I need to buy about 3 more of these next Sunday because, oh man, this is a good one. Oh my gosh, like here I am sitting in 100-degree weather, ready to set up my Christmas tree. But I also feel like this would be good in like November. Oh man, it's just good. I could see myself burning this with a lot of, like, again, the, what is it? Always autumn, autumn leaves. Oh my goodness, there's something good about this. Maybe, ooh, should I burn it with bones? Ooh, maybe I'll burn it with bones. Oh my gosh, you guys, these are just so incredibly good. So those are the 6 that I picked up. I did pass on the Cromwell's cookies. I know that that is kind of like a peanut butter cookie fragrance. I like to eat peanut butter cookies, but I don't necessarily want my house to smell like it. I passed up on Monster House, passed up on Funhouse Fright. Some of those, you guys, I've just come to the realization that the like dense cookie bready fragrances are just not really in my wheelhouse. And so I was trying to keep it a little bit smaller with the ones that I was like, yeah, I think I'm really going to like those particular fragrances. And I'm kind of glad that I did that because truly, you guys, all 6 of these scents, I'm going to trick or treat. I know I'm going to get in a 4-wick. Because again, that fragrance profile seems very similar to me as the Cabana Culata. Not the same scent, but it's in that same family, and I know I like that. I'm going to save my trick or treat to burn with a 4-wick of trick or treat. But these other ones, I'm all going to give a burn beforehand because if I like all of these on burn, Acorn Avenue, I believe, is the only one that's not going to be offered in a 4-wick. I think the rest are all in 4-wicks. I've got to double check on the Peach Pecan Crunch, but I think it is. If these all are nice, I'm getting them in 4-wicks. Like it's just how it's going to be. So that's what I have so far. I know for sure other candles that are on my wish list here. I am planning to purchase the 5-wick of Hawkins Autumn. I was burning Hawkins Autumn last night, and it just further solidified that I was like, yes, I need more of this. I did finish burning up my, what was the one I finished? Oat milk and pistachio 5-wick. So I have an empty spot on my table now. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get a 5-wick of Hawkins Autumn. I have a 4-wick. Oh gosh, you guys, I'm going back and forth if I want to get a 5-wick of October Embers, or if I want to just get another 4-wick of it, maybe 2 4-wicks, because I'm having a lot of success burning that in my Hurricane here. I did just do a review on that on Friday, so you guys can check that out. But I love October Embers. It's very strong for me. It's one of the strongest marshmallow fragrances that I have tried, and I'm so happy with it. And I know that they work really hard to get it to that level. So October Embers, I have a feeling at this moment, I think I'm going to pick up another 4-wick of it. Maybe 2 4-wicks because that fragrance is just so good. Coffin Cake, that's the other one. I love Coffin Cake. I might get that in a 5-wick as well because that's a fragrance that is versatile enough for me moving through the winter months. I see myself burning that not just in the fall, but also I can burn it, with Christmas fragrances. So I see myself maybe wanting to like pair that with tree fragrances during the holidays. So I think my 2 for sure 5-wicks are going to be Coffin Cake and Hawkins Autumn, because Hawkins Autumn is only going to be available in that format. Maybe 2 October Embers. I also have Fall Cider on my wish list. I also have in the 4-wick that's very, very similar to Bath & Body Works Cider Lane. If any of you guys are just new to caramel sundaes. What else do I have on my wish list? Dad's Blueberry Cobbler, I mentioned. I'm just going to go for the 4-wick on that one. And I think right now, and like I said, depending on how all of these burn, quite a few of these I might end up getting 4-wicks of. So this is probably going to be a pretty expensive Sunday for me. In addition, I do plan to repurchase the laundry soap. Plain Jane, I love that one year round. They also have Always Autumn coming in that, and I'm like, oh, absolutely, I will try that. Who doesn't want, their sheets and their towels, which is what I predominantly use that laundry soap for. I don't like my clothing to have fragrance on it, but I do love for my sheets and towels. So I think I'm going to pick up Always Autumn. I'm going to get Plain Jane. Sea salt is really good, but I like that more in the spring and summer now that we're going into fall, winter. What other fragrances? There were a couple of other ones. I think there's one called like Midnight Moss. Really intrigued by that. So yeah, I'm gonna stock up on some laundry soaps. The fabric refreshers they have, which I don't use fabric refreshers as much. I wash my blankets and whatnot, but they are kind of nice to spray on the couches, and I do like spray our mattresses and stuff like that down. I might pick it up. I don't know. I might pick up more fabric refreshers, but I do have a few in my collection right now that maybe I'll hold on to. And then they did also repackage their car vent clips. I think I'm going to give those another try. They put the vent clip to be a little bit longer now. And it's not necessarily cooling down here in Arizona. We're running our air conditioning, when we get in the vehicles, it's still pretty much on full blast. But they have it coming. I think the fragrances I was looking at were Always Autumn. And there was another one that I was really like, ooh, yeah, I think I want that in there. So lots of fun options, lots of great stuff. They've got soy wax melts. They've got a lot. But if you are a fall lover, and in particular a Caramel Sundays fall lover, make sure that, plan accordingly. I've given several tips and tricks. Make sure you go join the Facebook group if you haven't already. It's a great little community that we've got over there. I know John and Sierra are taking input over there on what candles people want to see brought back for their best of the best in December. That will be their December restock. So feel free to chime in over there. But yeah, let me know in the comment section down below, what is on your wish list. Did this help you? Did this hinder your wallet? I'm always curious to hear what your thoughts are. You guys, it's really hard for me to rank these because they just are all good for very different reasons. Like I could see the peach pecan crunch, for example. This is a fragrance that I would probably burn more so in the summertime. Like I might burn this through like the end of September, like mid-September, but then I'm going to be over it and I'll set it aside for summer because this is more of a summer scent for me. Trick or Treat is kind of in that same vein. Trick or Treat, I could see myself burning in the spring. Man, the more I smell it, it just smells like an empty bag of Skittles. That's what it smells like to me. It's totally like Taste the Rainbow here, right? Totally reminding me of Skittles. Goblin Grounds, man, this is close to like a kind of giving me like PSL vibes. I have a feeling that's going to go so nice with Hawkins Autumn. Like I said, Cranberry Orange Marmalade. This is going to be a really nice transitional scent. But I'm telling you, you guys, don't let the sage scare you off. I don't smell that. And if you like Autumn Jam, you're going to like this. I'm very confident of that because I'm smelling similarities to that. And Bones. Oh, that's good. I think I'm going to, see, I said that I think that I was going to burn Goblin Grounds. I don't know. I might do that tomorrow morning. I might do Acorn Avenue with Bones tonight. Oh, man, that just smells so good. I don't know. Last thing I'll let you guys know is that I probably won't burn any of these enough to give like a dedicated post-burn review to you guys. What I'm thinking I will do this week, it's going to come down to like how much time I have. I'm thinking this week, I for sure will give you guys my post-burn thoughts prior to the Sunday launch. It will probably not be like dedicated post-burn reviews. It might be like shorts where I'm just giving you like, hey, this is how it's burning. This is what I'm smelling. Or it'll be like picture on my community page and over on my Instagram, letting you know, like I'll type out my thoughts and let you guys know. But one way or another, make sure you're subscribed if you want some updates on these, and make sure you're following me over on Instagram because sometimes, between the two, who knows? I try to get the information out to everybody, but just depends on all of the time this week. My kids are now all officially back to school. My youngest daughter starts soccer practice. And we are also heading out on a family vacation in 2 weeks. So I've got a lot going on around here and trying to get it all done and covered for all of you guys. So yeah, lots going on. All right, that's enough rambling. Again, if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button. Consider hyping it if you would like. And if you're new around here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.